Daniel Scalovi here, PokerListings.com. Today we're going to talk about beating loose passive players. At low stakes, most of your profits are going to be coming from these loose passive players. They're the quintessential fish. They call entirely way too much before the flop, and they take their marginal hands, their draws, their everything way too far after the flop. Because so much of your profit's going to be coming from these loose passive fish, you better learn how to beat them now, and luckily it's not that difficult a task. You exploit their calling tendencies and you just value bet relentlessly. As always, we're going to take a look at a few examples and discuss our thought processes behind them. Player folds under the gun. We have a limper from early position. We raise it up to $10 from the cutoff. We get a caller by the loose passive player in the big blind, and the original limper folds. Board comes ace high, and we have a pretty obvious c-bet here. We have top pair with a very good kicker, and it stands to be good against our opponent's range pretty much always. So we fire $18 for value. He makes the call, and the turn comes two of clubs. Not really a worrisome card at all. He checks. We're going to bet our hand for value. He's going to do what he always does because he's loose and he's passive and he likes to call, so he calls. River comes queen. He checks. We have a pretty obvious bet on the river here. We have top two pair. He probably has an ace, and so we just stick it all in. Since he's loose and he's passive, it doesn't matter that we overbet a little bit. If he has an ace, he's going to be showdown bound no matter what. He thinks that if he has ace 10, then he's probably going to chop because of the queen. If he has any ace, he's calling, so just ship it in and reap the benefits when he calls. He calls, our hand's good, and we ship it. Okay, next hand. Under the gun folds. Get another early position limper. We raise to $12 from the cutoff. Fold it around to that loose passive limper, and he calls. It's a good idea to get into the habit. Whenever a loose passive player limps in, if you have a decent hand, raise it up and isolate them. They're going to do what they're always going to do. They're going to call. So let them call. You're going to be playing the hand in position. You're the better player. You dictate when you put money in. You dictate when you value bet. You dictate when you take free cards. You have complete control of the hand against the loose passive players. So isolate them, get into a lot of pots with them in position, and just impose your will on them. So he checks. We bet $20 with top pair, and our opponent calls.